On this week's episode of Garage Talk, I won another race.
That's right, he did. And we also look at NASCAR's adventures at Atlanta, my adventure at Daytona. Then we toss in some Shakespeare and To Kill a Mockingbird.
To be or not to be. That's my Shakespeare for you. We'll talk about that and more right now. Well, this is take two. Welcome to an all-new FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Flook.
I'm Eric Richardson.
We got a minute into the show, and then Eric got dropped, so we're starting it over again. We're inside
Hey,
the
nothing like doing it again.
yay technology. So, you like my new addition to the background? Do you note it? Can you see it on your phone?
New addition to the background. Hey, there it is.
My Carson Hocevar if Gap car.
Yes. That happened to me on Tuesday, I think.
There wasn't a gap. There wasn't much anything.
Yeah, it was pretty early there and trying not to break somebody on the inside. Then I was going up to the wall to give space, and all of a sudden there was a car and went over me.
That was the Tuesday night. I guess we'll get right into it. Tuesday night, Indy Racing World Series, Phoenix Raceway, my home track, was an absolute emotional roller coaster for me. Um, it was an okay start. Okay green flag run. And then all of a sudden this door creeps open that I can come in to take, pull up when Matt Faust and Derek Booker coming off a green flag stops. Just hard battle. I don't think there was anything No, it wasn't anything malicious. It was just a hard battle. And coming out of 3 and 4, they touched and now all of a sudden I
Yeah,
inherit the lead.
instead he was what adjusting his weight jacket mid corner on cold tires.
Yeah. So I inherit the lead with like 20 to go. And we're coming around and I come out at 2 and I see the field backing up and I hit the brake and went locked up and went into the inside wall and broke my front wheel and broke my front wing off. And you heard me. I just went off on myself in the voice chat and I
Oh
just
yeah,
started swearing up a storm. And I'm like, I was just handed a win and I effed it up. And I said, which is funny because someone the other day said to me, it's like, wow, DJ swears. I'm like, wow, you don't know me very
you haven't listened to him.
well. So fortunately, it was the start of the caution. I come back around. I had enough fuel. My tires were new enough. I just took the fast repair. I'm like, I got to get in and out as quickly as I can. I come back out, use my fast repair, and I'm like, I'm still in the lead. How? Whatever. And then the pace car pulls off as I'm coming around too. The pace car had already pulled off. It didn't delay us. It was already in the pits. And you got that long trip down between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 at Phoenix where there's no pace car. And I'm like, oh, I guess we're going here. And I'm in the lead. And at that point, Eduardo was in second and he had to drop to the back for his wave around because he had pit
Yeah,
and
take
got
the wave
caught.
around.
And I was just thinking, I'm like, wow, I screwed up. Oh, and I took a wave around earlier and it wouldn't let me pit. It said the pit was closed. So I was going to be like 15 laps short. So I green
Jeez.
flag stop. It wouldn't let me pit. It said the pit was closed. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like we were starting again. So I had to go. I'm like 15 laps short. I get this gift of the leaders taking each other out. And then I destroy my car, get it fixed, somehow stay in the lead, and then run it out for the last 12 laps or whatever it was.
That's the joy of pitting late in the cycle.
And I'm just like,
On a short track, so many people got trapped a lap down.
um, our new driver joined us this week, Mike. Well, this season it was week 1. Mike Deitch, who I'm like, I recognize his name, and I realized he had raced with Highline before, and he had a monitor freeze up. Otherwise, he probably would have won. But he unlapped himself inside that last 10. I'm just like, you guys, you have fun. I'm not not getting involved in this. And it was just this emotional roller coaster where I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm here. All right, I worked myself. I'm okay with a third. Oh, I'm gonna inherit the lead. Oh, I crashed myself. Oh, I'm back in the lead again. Oh, I win. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, I'm still struggling to process it over 24 hours later after the fact. I'm like, what in the world
Yeah,
happened?
I wish I was in your shoes. I got to spend 130 laps just running in circles.
Well, I mean, Wednesday night, you bounced back. You had a good finish on how much fuel do you have left when you finished?
I'm not sure the exact number, but it was maybe like point 0.2 of a lap.
Yeah.
I was able to get back to pit road on the cool down lap, and I was at 0.
There's just a handful of people that saved in the end, and that paid off. And you walk out there, what, fourth?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
fourth. If I had pushed maybe a couple laps earlier and just got in front, and maybe could have been a podium finish. But I was going back and forth, like, I'm not gonna have enough fuel. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I was just trying to hold on,
uh,
and at that point, just stay top five. I was hoping a couple more up front would fit, but I'll take it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? And it's like, so on Wednesday night, I had a really stupid mistake. I was doing decently well, and I was saving, and I was chasing people down at the end, but I screwed myself because when Nick got black flagged for his internet connection, it popped up the alert on the screen and my brain went yellow flag. So I slow down and everybody else is gone. I was like, oh no. And now I'm like 3 seconds back of the field and I'm just drifting back. I'm like, oh.
It's
And
funny. We restarted after the one caution. I was in sixth, and I dropped all the way back to 13th.
I was, of the running cars, I was like second to last. And I managed to pick people off towards the end because I just saved and I got lapped, but still, it's like I'm okay. Uh, and I don't know if I'm ready to disclose this or not, but what the hell? Have you noticed I've been progressively improving quite a bit in the last month?
Oh yeah.
It's not a coincidence. I I have a coach. I
Been working with Justin E.
Yeah, I'm working with Justin Yee. Yeah. So DJ EJ, I worked with him once before on a session, and it was very helpful. And I didn't go back, and I'm like, I need to sit down. I need to take this a little bit more seriously. So, I bought he's really good. He's really good at pointing those little ticky tack things out that you don't I go out there and he basically just tells you to go out there, just run 10, 15 laps or whatever. And then he stops you and says, "All right, let's look at this." And and he gave me, I'm not going to give away all his secrets because, he's running a business, but he gave me drills to work on, he gave me some things to look at, and I'm just like, "Huh." So, with bottom split, how I ran down the group at the end and chased those guys down at the end, I was feeling really good about myself. So what we did in our last session is we watched the replay of that race. And he's like, "You know what? I'm very happy. But let's look at what you did wrong here." And he's like, "You see this right here?" And he said, like, you were just running your comfortable line. And right there, if you would have put that guy and ran your uncomfortable line and faked him out here, base more or less, he's like, you probably would have chased, you probably would have had time to chase down the third place guy who you finished just behind and get a podium. Like, you know what? I was feeling pretty good about myself in that finish. No, you just
There
ruined
you
it for me.
go.
No. But no, we've had 3 sessions now. Um and worked on a variety of things. So I'm continuing to work with him, and yeah, I'm sick of being mid tier, so I'm just slowly working my way way up, and it's definitely helping. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Justin, and really good YouTuber, by the way. A lot of good videos too. So shout out Justin Yee, my coach. I salute you, sir.
Yeah, you're doing good, working up, and what, 2 wins and 3 attempts now in Indy?
Yeah, I just actually started working with him about a month ago, again, and yeah, I've been spending my I literally wake up Sunday morning, I grab a cup of coffee, I finish my coffee, and I go upstairs and I work with Justin for an hour. That's been my Sundays for the last couple of weeks. So, uh, yeah.
I wish I could just like, get lucky.
Yeah, your issue is bad luck. My issue is just
I
like,
am just wrong place at the wrong time, like every single race out. Because even in Indianapolis last week, you were going and bounced off the wall
well,
and
that
ended up
that was
just
that was
breaking me
just
by like a matter of inches.
you know,
If I had got through that, I would have been fighting for top five.
and the thing with Indianapolis, and I apologize profusely screwing that up. But did you notice on that restart? That was probably the most aggressive I think I've ever been, and I screwed quite a few people over the process.
Yeah, I'd already gotten caught, and I was driving that one hard too.
I thought I could make it stick, and I just like I just when I came around, I started to slide on those marbles, and I was like, oh, that was a bad decision.
Yeah, it's funny. The previous restart, I gained 6 spots because I restarted 17th because I got collected, moved up to 10th, then see the wreck going, like, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm in the wall. And then ended up like 17th. I'm like,
I
I'm gonna be top five.
I I I finished that race 10th. I shouldn't have. But the Indy race, but my wheel was 90 degrees. I was going straight and my wheel was turned 90 degrees to the left when it was all said and done. And Garrett, I apologize again. I know he was making fun of me, giving me a hard time, and fair enough. I deserve that. That was stupid of me, but you know what? If Gap Car,
It's so funny here recently and kind of started the 2026 racing season for us. If I can keep it clean and not get
you're
run
there.
into,
You're
I'm
there.
finishing top five.
You're there.
Wednesday night
Absolutely.
dash, Indy was just the first race out, but bottom split, same deal. I just get unlucky and just keep getting tagged.
I've just my strategy, especially with last with Indy this week, was I just needed to be there. And there were some people pushing me early, and I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. Just go around me. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you put yourself in a hole that's just too deep to dig yourself out of. But you know
Yeah, that
what?
was my plan the other night at Phoenix was just to set up. I was going to run and get mid race and
Blah.
let's work now.
So
But we got
right,
a fun track coming up next with Homestead.
Homestead's a lot of fun in an Indy car, and it's just unfortunately it's just I think it's just too dangerous to go there in real life now. But I think they can make it work probably. Um,
Passing could be a premium again, but it's doable there.
yeah, it's doable. Yeah, you can get some good runs, and especially there's a point where you can switch lines like midway through a run. I just realized, well, not just realized, I knew this all along, but it's just like, so I'm wearing I'm wearing my Nixon watch here, which, and now I'm, watch competitor on the shirt I'm wearing. Oops. Yeah, I got the Red Bull shirt for 2026 with the got the Ford on it now, so
I do like this year's shirt for Red Bull.
it is a really cool shirt, and it actually says like Red Bull on in the little design at points. Yeah, it's a cool shirt. I
And we
do.
did not coordinate. I, we did
Yeah,
not coordinate.
wasn't planned. The thing too is like normally I wait till the end and buy things on clearance because that's just how I do it.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I
I
don't care
get
if
it on
it's
clear. But
current
this
Indy
one I'm
black
like, you know what?
is.
This is cool. I the Ford merch store sent a coupon code for like 25% off, and sometimes they do like since they've started working with Red Bull, they've done some exclusions, and this one wasn't. So I'm like, that's probably the cheapest it's going to be for quite a while. So I went ahead and made the jump.
Yeah, as well.
So we got Phoenix in real life coming up here, and
Indeed.
I gave my kids the choice on what race to go to because we've got Indy on Saturday, we've got Cup race on Sunday, and they haven't decided yet. So I'm not taking them both days because that'll be miserable.
That's just a lot.
We're just gonna leave them with a babysitter one of the days. I'm kind of hoping they take the Indy on Saturday because one, it's different, but two, it's not going to be as long of a day. I think.
They're
I
going to
mean,
be much faster.
it's going to be much faster. The race is a little shorter. It's going to be louder, which may or may not go over well. But I
Will
haven't
those
been.
cars be louder than the Cup cars on that track?
I don't know. I didn't get out to the test day because my kids had a early release from school for parent teacher conferences, and my wife was out for work and couldn't pick them up. So I'm like, well, let's see. Do I go to Phoenix Raceway and get child services called on me, or do I be a good parent? So, well,
Take your chances. What are we doing?
yeah.
When we went to the race at Iowa, granted the hybrids weren't out yet, but the noise level wasn't really that bad.
Nah, I don't. I picked up something on eBay last week actually. That I didn't buy this at the time, but I'm glad I have it now. Is the 2008 Indy 500 program, which I've made this reference many times. I opened this up and I just started laughing when I turned to this page, and I actually just not on purpose turned right to the page. We mentioned this last week in our Indy preview.
Ew.
It's
Missing out
Elio,
spelling.
Elio with the Dancing with the Stars trophy. And it's an article about him with Julianne Hough doing Dancing with the Stars. That's hilarious. It's just, oh man. Now I've been to three Indy 500s, which is kind of shocking that it's so few. But I mean, I've also haven't lived in Indiana. I moved out of Indiana in 2008, so I haven't lived in Indiana in a long time. But
That's been a little tough for you.
now have all three programs from the years I attended. So my collection is now complete for now.
I
Till I go
think
to
I'm now up to what, 8 or 9 races. I think it's 8.
my parents just would not take me as a kid because it's just too much for a kid. And yeah, I was 12, I think, the first time I went.
Yeah, I think 2003 was my first race.
I went 97, 98, and '08. And then I went to one Brickyard in '07, where I saw Tony Stewart win.
I've been to 3 Brickyards.
But now I got to make sure that we get the yeah, we got Phoenix weekend coming up here soon, and I haven't bought tickets for the fall race yet. Well, you know what sucks is we really haven't had much of a winter here. It's gonna be in the mid
Yeah, we
90s.
haven't either.
It's gonna be in the mid 90s next week. And I'm just like, please don't be in the mid 90s for the race. Please, that will be absolutely miserable.
No, hot, greasy track.
Uh
Now, speaking of races that we've been to, I finally checked off a bucket list
yeah,
today.
yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk about this. And you also had a semi-viral video out of it.
Yeah, got the last lap of the Daytona 500.
And you posted it to
What did we get?
Instagram.
Over
Uh
24,000 views on YouTube now?
yeah, something like that. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. I mean, it obviously tailed off, but
I mean, the
uh
cinematography when it's on a cell phone and I'm trying to watch the race, but tracking on my phone,
I mean, that was a
it
good
makes
shot.
sense.
And you were in a really good position to record that too.
Yeah, we were just past the start finish line.
You caught Let's see here. And thanks to your video, we gained like 15 new subscribers on YouTube. So welcome. I hope you enjoy our shenanigans.
Yeah, thank you for subscribing. Hopefully you
Let's see
can help
here.
make fun of us as well.
The current count is 24,473 with 302 likes right now.
Hey, we'll take it.
So,
No,
you know
yeah,
what?
like 8:30 that morning, get a message like, "Hey, are you interested in going to
Yeah,
Daytona?"
yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I'm interested.
I woke up Sunday morning of the Daytona 500 to see. I look at, the first thing I do when I look at my phone that morning is I see a text from you from the infield of the Daytona 500, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yep, ended up there.
I'm just like, you're there.
I sent our friend Annie Mandola from Road Racer Books. I sent him a message too, just the inside of the track. And he's like, "Wait, are you there?" I'm like, yes, sir.
You were there.
No, I was telling him we need to figure out a way one year, have you fly into Orlando and then we drive up to Charlotte for the 600.
I want to do the 600. That's like one of those things where I was just like, yeah, I want to see a race at Charlotte, and the 600 I think would be the way to go. How far is Charlotte from Orlando? Was it 8 hours?
Yeah, I think it's about 8 hours. Pretty easy drive, actually. Just jump on 95 and go.
Yeah, just jump on 95. We'll plug the phone in and live stream the drive.
Garage talk on the road,
Garage talk from
literally.
the highway. All right, we're in Atlanta. Now we're in Charleston. I don't know. My
Hey, it's less
southeast.
than a 24-hour broadcast.
Yeah, yeah, my southeast geography is not great. So, but yeah, we had 3 races this week.
Busy
I
week.
I just barely made it to Wednesday. Um, at a thing at my kid's school, and then when we were trying to leave, they ran off. I couldn't find them. And it was like reading literacy night. And so they have all these like activities to encourage reading, and they gave us this fun little check sheet on like how can you as a parent um do your part to get kids to enjoy to read. And like I didn't read as very much as a kid. I read a lot now, but it's one of those things where it's just like I realized the error in my ways as a kid. But granted, the stuff we were assigned to read was pretty
I read
crappy.
a lot when I could pick what I wanted to read.
Right. Yeah.
When I was told what to read, that was a different story.
It's like I it's so far out now. I don't really care to admit this, but there is in all of high school of all the books we were assigned to read, I only read one book cover to cover, without cliff notes, without pulling a fast one on anything. Um, and that was To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know why. I mean, it's obviously a classic. It's a it's an American classic. It's a long book, but like just something about it, just it just was compelling enough that my ADHD stayed focused long enough to read it through. But then they're like, "Here, read Lord of the Flies." No, read Shakespeare. No, read what else did they make us read? The Crucible.
Yeah, so many of these have movies, so
Yeah.
I'd just rather watch the movie, get the gist of the story,
well,
and go from there.
well, we also we're not going to say names here, but I think you and I had the same English teacher freshman year, and I would maybe not, but I would get
I
called
don't
out in
remember.
class. I would get called out my freshman year in high school. I would get called out in class. Like I would literally called out in front of the class. Are you gonna actually read the book this time? And eventually, like I finally just like checked out. I said, no, probably not. Which caught the teacher off guard because like they thought they were like humiliating me in front of the class, and I just didn't
I
care at
actually
that point.
remember who the teacher was now.
But the this particular teacher that I had freshman year, Were you in honors in ninth?
No,
No, okay. So I was in honors. Ugh. Um,
I stayed away from that stuff for the most
yeah,
part,
and that was a
except
good
for
move. That was a good move on your part.
AP European history was probably the mistake. AP government, it was just easier than the regular class.
I did AP US history, which sucked.
I thought
And
about it, but
it
then
sucked.
thought,
That
no, there's gonna be more work. I'm not doing that.
that the AP US teacher would give us these study guides for the test, and then the test would have nothing to do with the study guides. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, really? Like, what's the point of a study guide if none of this crap is on the test? And but anyway, back to English. This particular teacher that I had, which apparently we had different teachers for freshman English, she would, when she would give her quiz, you get assigned chapters 1 through 4 or whatever, and then you get a quiz on your chapters. She would read the cliff notes and then give you a quiz based on information that could not be found in the cliff notes. And I'm just like, come on. That is just pure evil from, from
Yeah,
a
that's
teacher.
diabolical.
That is just diabolical that you would specifically check out the cliff notes and put these obscure questions in there that were not in the cliff note. And like, how much of a deep dive in this book do you have to do to find something that's not in the cliff notes, let alone do a whole test on it?
And that's why I didn't take that class.
No. No. It was, yeah. Well, that's our trip down academia and our but the moral of the story is, you know what? Like, get into reading. We could all do more reading. Uh find something you like. I mean, you there's actually a third bookshelf over here you can't see. I've read every single one of these books on this shelf. If it's not on this shelf, it's in my room because I haven't read it yet. Once I've read it, it goes on the shelf. Um, but
Once I can finally set up, I will have a bookcase that looks like that, which
yeah,
most of them I've at least read part of.
so it says read a book together as a family. Pick one or more questions to discuss. Parents can ask a follow-up question and share their own ideas to make the discussion interactive. And it gives you some sample questions like, which character do you relate to most and why? If you could change the ending, what would you do? What lesson did this story teach you? What part of the story surprised you the most? How would you feel if you were the character? Can you make a connection between the story and something in your own life? Well, that's pretty good. That's not bad.
What I always struggled with was you read a book and then you go, what was the symbolism in this story?
Well, yeah, I
I don't know.
to be not to be. There you go. There's my Shakespeare. Very inspiring. Bill Shakespeare.
So I guess the kind of big thing from this week with the Atlanta races, one, Austin Hill had an insane save,
That was an insane save. Yes.
but the biggest storyline is Carson Hocevar. And was there a
Well,
gap or not?
that was one of the big stories. There were a lot of big storylines from Atlanta this week.
How many cars ended up not being involved in wrecks? Like eight.
I think it was 8 was the final number. But going back to the O'Reilly series real quick, Sheldon Creed, man, he finally did it.
Finally get the win.
Mr. Second Place finally got the win. Thanks
I
to
almost want to put that on our bingo
it
card.
needs to go on the bingo card. Mr. Second
Sheldon
Place
Creed finally wins.
Mr. Second Place wins an O'Reilly. I mean, it took changing the name of the series, but look at that. He won a race. Good for him. Especially after how Childress and all those guys treated him after that Martinsville incident. It's just like you felt so bad for him because one, he's getting just publicly humiliated by his team management, like right there, and he's just kind of sitting there, just kind of like just
Yeah.
taking it, and gets run out of the team. Uh, kind of bounces around, ends up with Haas. Actually, he went right to Haas, didn't he? After,
I think so.
yeah. So They go through manufacturer change. He's back in a Chevy again, and second race out this year, he finally comes through.
Great to
Good
see
job.
him finally win.
Good job. I was actually had the phone. We were eating dinner, and I had the phone like sitting right here, and the end of the race going on, and he wins. I'm like, he did it! I just like scream at the dinner table, he did
He texted me that, and I first went, "What are you talking about?"
it!
And then I go and look and see who won the race, and I see Sheldon Creed wins. What? Oh, that's what he was talking about.
He finally won.
'Cause I wasn't watching the race. I forget what I was doing, but didn't have it on.
Yeah, yeah, Atlanta, like a lot of the drivers when they changed Atlanta the first time out were not happy with the changes. But, you know, stealing one from Jackson. Absolute cinema.
What I've seen with the last couple races, if you can get that field to slim down a little bit, it creates really good racing.
Mhm.
If it's the entire field, it's kind of bland, but once it thins down, it it gets really good.
I mean, last summer was a disaster. That
But the
that
finish was great
the
among the
finish
cars
was
that were
phenomenal. Like Chase
still
Elliott last summer just
functioning.
came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay.
But they got the space and they could create runs, which was fun to see. How about Tyler Reddick winning with no front fender?
Yeah. Yeah, we got 2 for 2 for Tyler Reddick, Michael Jordan celebrating, and NASCAR going.
NASCAR's like great.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if 2311 swept this? I mean, obviously it's not gonna happen, but wouldn't that be hilarious if like 2311 and FRM just swept the season?
Be funny.
That would be the like most epic slap, and mix in a Denny Hamlin here and there. That would be the biggest slap in the face ever.
Yeah, it would.
Oh man,
Kind of going back to that host of our, what's getting left out a lot, he was getting a huge push from Chastain too.
he was.
If he backs out of it, think how many cars are getting junked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ross was also the one behind the Xfinity finish too, and the one who basically dumped Austin Hill, which
Yep.
the average. Well, as O'Reilly, God, I'll get the hang of it. The
If you're
average.
going to beat Austin Hill in a super speedway, that's what you have to do.
He's so good on those super speedways. You give him a decent car on a super speedway, he's going to be right there every time.
Yep.
And nobody likes that. No, imagine
Yeah, man,
the.
I like to see it. 2 laps to go. Go for it. Make a driver do something.
Have you seen the NASCAR videos that have been posted on social media lately where they ask a question about a driver and then all the drivers say the same answer and then they synchronize
Yeah.
all the drivers saying, it's like, who's the most reckless driver out there? And they cut to like a grid of 9 drivers. Carson Hocevar.
And he's like, that's the one I get.
And then they played that clip and Carson Hocevar took that and put it on his social media. It's like, you know what? Just get the out of the way and never problem.
We need more drivers like that. That are like, you know what? I'm gonna make space.
Ross Chastain was going down that path for a while, and then he kind of toned it down and kind of lost his edge, and then now he's doing it again a little bit.
I feel like that was a lot after when Hendrick and Chevy goes like, dude, like stop wrecking our Chevys.
Yeah, the Chevy Mafia shut him down. The uh the other one that I saw today where they had a synchronized was which driver complains the most on the radio, and it cuts to like a grid of like I don't know 9 drivers or whatever. Ryan Blaney. It cuts to Blaney, and they said, would you guess that you were the one most selected by drivers? He's like, well, I'd tell them to shut the up because they all do it.
It'd be funny. Take like half of the field now and then put half of a like mid 90s field out there. and let's see what happens.
Could you imagine you put like Jimmy Spencer out there early in his career, Kurt Busch, uh,
I mean, put out the Rusty Wallaces, the Spencers, the Marlins, Martins, Gordon,
Mike.
Irvin. Put those guys out there with the current drivers, and it'd be fun to see.
I'm drawing a blank on the last name. Drove the Lowe's car in the '90s. Mike. Same here. I'm
Who's
drawing.
wearing these?
Yeah,
Not Mike Wallace.
Mike Skinner.
Yeah, that's it.
Mike Skinner. One of the funniest Mike Skinner moments is he held off Jeff Gordon to win a race in like the late '90s. And they go to his driver radio and he goes, "Yeah, we held off that little son of a bitch." Right on live TV.
FCC on editing. Beep.
Oh, Mike Skinner.
They still need to do something with these cars.
Well, coming up this week, we've got what, Coda?
Yeah.
Oh, should
Will the main storyline from the weekend be track limits again?
Oh yeah, because we got the revised layout and people don't know what the limits are, so they're just like, you know what, screw it, I'm cutting the corner.
And last year, they're like, we are going to judge track limits. Race day, we're not going to look at track limits here.
Do whatever you want, gentlemen. We're not
The
Formula
S's,
One.
we're just going to literally drive straight through it.
Yikes. I realize next weekend there's a busy weekend. We've got the Indy race at Phoenix, the NASCAR race at Phoenix, and the Formula One season kicks off.
And I
Might
don't
have
know
to.
how I'm going to watch any of it because I don't have TV now. If
Oh,
anybody's hiring remote work, I'm available.
he needs job.
I do need a job.
Get him employed, people.
I'm sure somebody will stream it on TikTok, so I'll watch it there.
For what? Wait, which race? The Formula One?
Any of them.
Any of them? Hey,
Actually, I might be able to do Apple TV. Let
I'll
me
see.
see how that'll work.
Hey, yeah, you got an antenna on the TV. You can at least watch the O'Reilly races.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out something.
The we talked about this before, but a lot of the regional sports channel model is dying, and it's basically died. I think I heard the last of the so like it was Fox, and they had to spin it off, and it became Bally's, and then it was like FanDuel Sports Network, and then like a bunch of teams like pulled out of the deal on the rights when they with the bankruptcy. And it sounds like I believe FanDuel Sports Network is going under, which doesn't surprise me. You look at TV is a very interesting business, and obviously there's the whole advertising aspect of it. You got to get the ratings, you sell to the advertisers. That's one piece of the puzzle. But the cable company, obviously they need to sell cable subscriptions, satellite subscriptions, streaming subscriptions to make money. And when you think about it, when you're paying your cable or satellite or your TV bill, every dollar of that outside of their profit goes to paying the charges that they owe to Fox, to ESPN, to Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery. And some of that is kind of absurd. Like, some of these, like, you look at DirecTV and there's like a bunch of garbage channels that you never watch, and they're almost like 24 hours of infomercials. Those are like
Hmm.
pennies for them to put that on there, if that. They might actually be getting paid to put those on their lineups. But if you look at something like ESPN, I don't know the number off the top of my head what it currently is, but I've heard somewhere in the range of about $5 a month of your bill goes for paying for the ESPN channels.
Jeez. I don't think
And
I've ever looked at like what a breakdown is.
yeah, well, but here's the thing: is you look at when it was like Fox Sports, insert city, Bally Sports, whatever. Those regional sports channels where you'd watch your baseball games, sometimes your basketballs, your hockey. Some of those channels were costing you anywhere from like $9 to $16 a month, reportedly, on your cable bill. That you were paying $16 a month was going to pay so you can watch the Phoenix Suns, the Arizona Diamondbacks, or the Arizona Coyotes when they were still a thing. And you'd see these
Insane.
disputes come up every once in a while where like we're not carrying Fox Sports Arizona anymore because we can't agree on a fee. And you'll see
That
that from
was Colorado. Comcast didn't want to carry route or altitude
altitude now.
that
Yeah.
it changed over.
And yeah, Big Ten Network had a hard time getting started. Like they Comcast and Big Ten Network, when they first started this whole mess, honestly, that was kind of the first of this mess. Comcast wouldn't agree to their rates. And so you couldn't watch a lot of your football, a lot of your basketball games living in Big Ten country unless you had a satellite dish.
It's funny, Big Ten country now is literally the entire
Yeah,
country.
yeah, it's like the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12. That's like 90% of the country now.
Oregon to California, all the way up to Penn State,
Rutgers.
Rutgers out east. What's the
They,
furthest south now?
they haven't gone south. I
It's
mean, I
really
think,
IU, isn't
yeah,
it?
I think
Unless you count
Indiana's the first.
California schools.
Yeah, I mean, USC, UCLA, but outside of that, it's Indiana.
Maybe Columbus.
The funniest thing is the Mid American Conference added Sacramento State, and it's like, what? What? Okay. Um, but somebody else made the more important discovery that when Ball State plays Sacramento State, the score line's going to say ball sack. It's like,
That's what
yes,
really matters.
childish jokes. Yes. That's yeah, that is the most childish joke since Oregon State played South Carolina, and I'm not going to explain that. I think you can figure it out. But oh man, yeah, what a goofy time we live in.
That's a bit of an understatement.
I was looking the other day. This is probably going to prevent DirecTV from ever sponsoring us, but they're bragging about how DirecTV now is a streaming platform. I'm like, oh, I wonder how much that costs. Same as satellite TV. I'm like, well, that's the whole reason I left you in the first place. I go to Hulu and I'm paying $40 a month for Hulu, and now I'm on the Disney Plus ESPN Hulu bundle paying 90. I'm like, what? That I hate you.
I like how we got Hulu at first, and like this is nice. It's like half the price of cable now. No,
No,
every
not
4 months, your rate is going up by $3. Your rate is going up by six
yeah.
dollars. Your rate is going up $2. No, stop it.
The only reason I've kept it is because one, my kids would have a meltdown if Disney Plus went away. But two is American. I pay my bill with an American Express every month because they give me a $10 credit for paying with my American Express. Like, congratulations, you got the Disney bundle. You got the Disney bundle.
Yeah,
But
we got rid of Hulu Live, but we still have like the like recorded stuff and the Disney Plus.
honestly, like
So it's like a tenth of the price.
if I could find a way to watch like NASCAR without needing a cable subscription, which is a problem because like in the fall a lot of it's gonna be on USA. So as part of NBC and their whole little spin-off thing, um NBC and USA is not owned by NBC anymore. It's been spun off. And so quietly the other week they changed their Facebook page to say NASCAR on USA,
Hmm.
which like I guess NBC is still going to be involved in the production of it or something to that extent, but it's like, does that mean I have to watch USA for every race in the fall
I feel
after?
like that should fall under like a contract violation, wouldn't it?
You would think, but what are they going to do? I mean, like Fox already kind of signed pretty deep just to get the first third of the season. They've got Prime for a month.
Actually, I'll be able to watch on Prime.
I kind of wish they would just like the older generation was upset about the whole Prime thing, but it's like, you know what? That was by far the best coverage.
Yeah, I would wish Fox would change up their booth. The Boyer Harvick, the combination doesn't work.
I think
Harvick is good.
Harvick is fine. Harvick with Boyer is like, oof, it's hard to watch.
Boyer gets a little cringeworthy at times.
And and Mike Joy's in the twilight of his career. I mean, he's like 74, I think. It's it's a bit frustrating. I mean, he's obviously an all-time great broadcaster, tells a lot of great stories, had a lot of passion, but it's like, but who's in the wings? Like, if Mike Joy were to retire tomorrow, who replaces him?
No one.
Yeah, and you got Lee Diffie over on NBC, who I think is really good. But yeah, like, oh, Adam Alexander. It's like, Adam Alexander's like 60. He's like 60. Yeah, they talk about Alan Bestwick, who's like 60 something as well. It's like he's not young either.
I did get to meet him at one point at a fan day.
Alan Bestwick?
Yeah,
Alan Bestwick is 64.
I mean these guys aren't gonna be around a ton longer.
You know what? I lied. I'm lying about Adam Alexander. He's 52. Okay, he's still not young from a broadcaster. So there's a guy, and I wish I knew what his name was. He's been doing the ARCA races. He's kind of young. And I think he's been pretty good. I'm like, this guy, I could see him rising up. And I wish I knew what his name was. Because I thought he was pretty good. Not TV schedule.
So, Fox, if you're listening, we know a great broadcaster.
We do, but I want to keep
We-
him. I want to keep it as
that
long
we
as we can.
selfishly want to keep him to our leagues. But no, if you get an opportunity like that, take it.
That's what, yeah. I am waiting for the day when Jackson Lambros calls me and says, "Hey, I got a job to go work at Flow Racing, or I'm going to be calling ARCA races." I'm like, you know what? You get the hell out of here. Go
Like,
do that, man.
why are you telling us? Just go.
Bill Godfrey Jr. Is that who it is? Is that? I don't know. No. What the hell's his name?
That's the one downside. There's so much money in the TV2 that there's just so many commercials during these races. What is it? Fox this year said they're going to bring every green flag lap,
Yeah.
so they're going to be hacking the commercials in during cautions, which half the time that's usually okay. They spend 20 laps just running around in circles doing nothing. But at least it's not a 6 hour what yellow flag for fog.
That was absurd. That I'm so glad I went to bed and didn't stay up late for that.
Yeah, it's funny. I was over in Cocoa Beach like earlier that day, and it was nice and clear. And then to see how foggy it got later that night, we were just over there. It's Cocoa Beach in Daytona. They're only about 45
Eric
minutes away.
Brennan. That's his name. Yep, that's his name. Yep, that's him because here he is in the Fox booth standing next to Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric's pretty good in the booth.
And when the Cup drivers go in and call like the Xfinity or the truck races, they do pretty good.
I mean, you've had Logano, you've had Cindric in there, Brad
Hasn't Bunny
Keselowski's
been in one?
been in there. You know what? Maybe we should get in the ground floor. We should call Eric Brennan and invite him on the show because he's still low enough on that totem pole that like, yeah, he's got a future, but he's still like, maybe I can find his email address and
Maybe we get the two idiots from Garage talking to call an ARCA race.
or at least like, hey, can I come visit the booth? Yeah. Oh, somebody actually had him on a podcast recently. I just Googled his name. That's funny. All right. Well, we got to wrap for this week. We got to keep it somewhat short because it's very late here and been a long, long week. I'm trying to cram a lot of stuff in 3 days, but we'll
Busy
be,
week,
we got 2 races next week. We got,
2 weeks, two next week. No bottom split, because we got 2 weeks in between.
yep.
Indy is heading to Homestead on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then I should know, but I don't. When this
Phoenix.
kind dash goes somewhere.
Phoenix.
Is it Phoenix?
It is
Oh,
Phoenix.
I had still got to work on that track.
That was a rule change pitch that no going to the dog leg on a green flag for the first lap. I think that's a fair. We'll talk about it tomorrow with the committee, but I think that's a fair proposal.
Unless we can get somebody that will officiate the start finish line.
Yeah, but it's half the cautions that we had last fall were right after restarts of people coming back off the dog leg while it was still too crowded.
And that's where so many moves can get done.
I know. But at the same time, 40% of the race in the fall was under caution. So
Yeah, I think that'll be a good committee question. I rarely take the dog leg anyway, so it really doesn't affect me.
it's like hold on for dear life as you go over that bounce before you're back on track again. But yeah, so at F Racing Online, fracingonline.com. We're live streaming races on TikTok now. Ooh. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Take care.